Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Bullion. Our guest today is Michael Piccioni, president at Can-Am Bullion. Welcome back, Michael.
Hey, Ivan, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming down to speaking to the whole silver and gold community. I wanted to get you down to talk about everything that's happening in precious metals. The past week or so, you're seeing so much excitement in silver specifically. People are talking about its 13-year new highs. They want to hit, people are really pushing for that $40, $50 mark to get to all-time highs in silver. What do you think? Do you think it's going to hold? Do you think it's going to get smashed back down? What are your thoughts?
Oh, it's tough to say, but I honestly do think I usually get caught when I think this, but I do think it's going to finally break out. I think the levels we're seeing right now are super bullish, and from a technical standpoint, being at 36 US is very critical. If we could stay above there for a little while here and hold on, and I think we're going to be making reaching that $50 mark by the end of this year is what I'm expecting, and I really think we can get to $40 pretty quick. And then after that, 40 to 50, I mean, by the end of the year, I think I'm being pretty conservative and we can get much higher than that, actually.
What would be your advice to all the new members coming into silver and gold and precious metals? What would be kind of your guidance or your piece of advice for a first time silver stacker?
I would definitely say educate yourself first. There's so much out there to learn about. Understand why you're buying gold and silver. Don't buy it as a short-term investment for sure. Look at this as a long-term investment. I look at gold and silver as the last things I will ever sell. That is your
Yeah.
insurance policy, and it's something that people need to take serious. And I get a lot of people come in and they want to sell their gold because it's reached all-time highs, and deservedly so. They're taking profits, but at the same time, a lot of these people truly don't understand the upside opportunity in precious metals based off of everything that's happening in the world. Literally everything that is happening right now is super bullish for precious metals. The inflation that we're seeing, that the inflation that we're about to see is very scary. One of the things I wanted to discuss today that I feel is super important is the treasury market issue and the $9.2 trillion that is rolling over by the end of 2025.
Right.
That doesn't really get a lot of attention, even in the precious metal circles. It doesn't really get talked about very much, and maybe I'm just not watching certain people talk about it. But it's such a huge issue because I know they talk about this big, beautiful bill and Elon and Trump, this huge feud, which to me seems like just a huge distraction. And I think one of the things that's distracting me from is the bond market that we're facing. They're talking about a $4 trillion bill over 10 years, and we're talking right now in 2025, we're looking at a $9 trillion issue from the US government that they're going to have
Wow.
to pay out on these bonds. So they're going to have to reissue new bonds at a higher rate. So it's going to flood the market with bonds, which is likely going to cause interest rates to go up because the bond market is going to get way more competitive. Nobody's really looking to buy US treasuries at this point. So that's the scary part. How are you going to sell $9.2 trillion in treasuries? Um, it just, and the obvious answer is they're going to have to print, and QE is coming back. And it's been a while and hasn't been talked about. And some people have talked about QE recently to some younger people, and they're like, "What's QE? What's going on?" I forgot it was that long ago, and people forgot about it, and it's coming back with a vengeance in a much bigger way. And that's the part that people really got to pay attention to because it can really turn this entire financial system upside down in a really, really quick period of time, especially if they don't come out and print to the levels they need to, because there's not going to be a lot of appetite for these bonds when they get issued.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking. Yeah,
Totally.
like if China isn't buying the bonds, if other countries aren't buying the bonds, who ends up buying the bonds? They just have to print a ridiculous more to buy it back. Does the Fed buy it? Does the banks go in there and end up, supporting the government? And for sure it'll just keep spiraling, Michael.
It has to spiral. I mean, the banks are the ones that are at the biggest risk. I mean, if these interest rates go up, I mean, there could be a lot of calamity, and I don't think they're going to allow that. To be honest with you, the Treasury, we're at the 10 years at 4.5 right now. I don't think they're going to let it get higher than five. To be honest with you, I think that's when they'll finally announce the print. So the central bank's going to have no choice at that point to start printing because the interest rates are going up. The market is calling it out as it is, and they know that 4.5% literally isn't enough. It's not nowhere near where it needs to be based off of the risk and the inflation that the US dollar is going to go through. So it's just a bad investment. And you look around the world, the central banks want gold. That's all they want right now. They're buying record amounts year over year.
Yeah.
They don't want treasuries. So this is the real situation we're in right now, and it could turn everything really crazy. And precious metals is what's going to do the best in that environment. I think Bitcoin as well, but commodities is the winner in this event. When the money starts to be worthless, is what we're seeing right now. The U.S. dollar, the Dixie's down below 100 again. We haven't seen these levels in years. So I mean, this is a very fragile point for the U.S. dollar, the U.S. economy, and the entire financial system as we know it.
A lot of people, in the precious metals community are aware of, the manipulation in the paper markets for silver, and the price smackdowns. Do you think that's possible? It'll happen again, or do you think now it's out of the hands of any manipulators or any price smackdowns, and now the shorts are just they can't do it anymore? Like, what are your thoughts on the manipulation in silver?
Well, I think since there is an unlimited amount of money they can print just by a click of the mouse, I think that always gives them the upper hand. So if
Right.
they want to put silver down to a ridiculously low level, they can. They have that. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, it's too late. The shorts are screwed. Silver's just going to run higher from here." But that's not necessarily the case. These guys can come here and drop silver 6, 7% tomorrow without even any negative news on silver. That's just the
Yeah.
world we live in. It's unfortunate, but we've seen it for years. So we don't want to get too optimistic and too overexcited, but um, long term, this is the place to be. Precious metals is the spot to be in the coming years. It may not happen in the next 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, but based off of what's going to be happening in the coming months and years from a money printing standpoint and from an economic standpoint, I mean, in a slowdown economy and in high inflation, um, precious metals performs best in that environment, like the 1970s. I mean, that's the reason silver and gold did so well, and stocks and real estate did not. It's because of that exact situation. It's stagflation. It's high inflation, and it's a struggling economy. And our economy is about to go down the toilet. I mean, every single economic indicator is signaling a red flag. Every single one.
Yeah.
And I know they want to blame a lot of it on tariffs, but let's be honest, that's not the case. And the middle class is just doesn't have the money to purchase what they used to purchase. And right now, they're just looking at paying off debt and trying to just stay above water right now.
There's about $15 trillion worth of physical gold in the world sitting there costing money rather than being used. Is just absolutely insane. Monetary Metals is bringing gold back into the financial world, putting gold to productive use right now. The problem with gold, of course, in physical form is that it's heavy, it's cumbersome, it's not particularly easy to ship, and it costs money to store in a protected manner. This platform Monetary Metals created is a proven concept and allows gold to be put to productive use, so that instead of sitting there costing you money, it's actually in use earning you money.
Learn how you can earn 2 to 5% in our leasing program and how accredited investors can earn up to 12% on silver paid in silver. This advertisement is not investment or financial advice. Minimum investment applies.
Yeah, absolutely. You really nailed it, Michael. And a lot of people talk about what's it like for in the appetite for like yourself at Can-Am Bullion. What are you seeing right now with investors? Are they flooding into silver? Are they flooding into gold? Are they selling their gold? Like, what's the appetite? What's the feeling right now?
You're seeing everything. I mean, you
Yeah.
are seeing, we are seeing a lot of new investors to gold and silver purchasing for the first time. They're
Okay.
finally, they're finally, they've thought about it for years, and now they're finally spooked to the point where they're like, you know what, I need to own some precious metals. But the vast majority, to be honest with you, we're buying more gold and silver from our customers than we're selling, which is an anomaly in my business, at
Which
least
is
since
which is kind of strange.
it's really, really strange. And I think it says a lot of things. I think it really tells you where we're at from an economic standpoint, our economy and the slowdown and how people need the funds. People don't have money to invest right now either. So I think that's one of the reasons people aren't coming in and buying. I
Right.
think we're really just trying to live paycheck to paycheck and pay off some debt right now. They're in that saving mode and not really a spending mode. So investing in anything right now, I think, has been put on hold, not just precious metals. So I think until we see the markets the traditional markets get spooked out, or stocks start to get hit, or if you really start to see metals move in a much more rapid pace, specifically silver, because I think that's one thing that will excite people. Gold's a
Right.
little slower moving, and I know it's been getting a lot of attention, um, but I think the middle class really isn't in precious metals at all right now. They completely missed this entire move, but the big move in silver is coming. So the opportunity exists. It's just a matter of, are they going to get in? We'll see, but I think over the next 6 months, you're going to start to see a lot more people get into precious metals as the economy starts to weaken even further. And then when we start to realize that the US has to enter another quantitative easing program, I think that's the biggest thing that's going to drive this market going forward.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, let's say, like me, I go to the gym, I go to the pool. A lot of the people you talk to, they don't own silver and gold. So you are absolutely right. The mass majority of the middle class either don't aren't educated, or they believe, of course, they're just trying to live paycheck to paycheck and they're trying to survive. So whatever money extra they have left over, they're like, hey, let me save this for food, or let me save this for bills, or just try to enjoy their life. So any extra money they do have to investments. I don't think the mass majority is educated yet, or even has the awareness to know where to go for silver. But I'm going to put your links in the description below. I highly recommend everyone watching this, if you're precious metals for the first time, start protecting yourself, because you never know what's around the corner. Michael, where can people find you? Where can they find your guys' work?
So our online precious metal store is canambullion.ca in Canada, and then canambullion.com in the United States. We are also a local retail dealer in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. So you could find us on those websites and reach out to me and set up an appointment with myself directly.
Yeah, I'll put the links in the description below. Everyone watching this, highly recommend. Please check out Can-Am Bullion. And Michael, such a huge, huge pleasure having you come and speak to the silver and gold community and the investing community. And as the market continues, we'd really love to have you back on.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me again. Really loved it.
No worries. Talk to you soon.